From the highly anticipated release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, to the character's rediscovered popularity leading to newer and better games, here's what the future of Sonic the Hedgehog looks like. Let's talk about the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 first. After the massive success of the first two movies, fans have been eagerly waiting for the next installment of the action-packed franchise. You'll be happy to hear that the wait is almost over. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is set to hit theaters on the 20th of December 2024, making it a Christmas release. And it's expected to be an absolute blast. The storyline of the movie hasn't been officially announced yet, but I think it's probably going to involve Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles embarking on an adventure together. Shadow the Hedgehog, a well-known character from the original game, was also in the credits for the last movie, so you can expect him to make an appearance in the third one as well. That was actually one of the biggest reveals in the last movie, because it told fans that the third part will likely be incorporating the Sonic Adventure 2 game, as well as the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off game. Based on how the first two movies have played out, I'm sure there's gonna be stunning visuals, heart-pounding action, and more of the same lovable characters that we've come to know and adore. So, mark your calendars, because Sonic is racing back to the big screen in a flash. But here comes some surprising news for you. Jim Carrey, the talented actor who brought the diabolical Dr. Eggman to life, may not be returning because he plans on retiring from Hollywood. Carrey's portrayal of Dr. Eggman was undoubtedly iconic, and his comedic genius added a unique flair to the character. He was also super happy to play the character, saying that it's always fun to play eccentric characters, and that Eggman's a ton of fun to act out. Unfortunately though, Carrey said that he's going to be taking a break. Here's what he had to say. "If the Angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. Don't worry though, as the Sonic universe continues to evolve, there are new opportunities for fresh talent to step into the role and bring their own exciting interpretations to the table. So, fans may be bidding farewell to Carrey's Eggman, but they can look forward to seeing the new face of the classic villain in the future. There might even be a heavier focus on other villains in the story. Like I said before, Shadow the Hedgehog made an appearance in the post-credits scene in the second movie, and since he's a character from the games who has a lot of backstory, they could easily make him the primary villain in the next movie. In the games, Shadow's introduction is directly linked to Robotnik, but now, because Robotnik will probably not be a part of the story anymore, they're probably gonna have to change Shadow's origins a little. But again, we might be getting a deeper exploration of Shadow as a villain. So, what does this mean for the future of the movies in the franchise? It definitely doesn't mean that they're going to be replacing Carrey with another actor. The second movie left Robotnik's fate a bit ambiguous, but everyone fully expected him to come back for the third film. But given Carrey's decision to step back from acting altogether, it's very likely that the character won't be returning in the future. That's what the creators of the movie have implied, at least, because they've said how they'd never think of replacing the Jim Carrey. That being said, there's probably going to be a bit of a drop in box office ratings once Sonic 3 comes out, because of Carrey's exit from the movie. It'll also have a big effect on the overall story of the franchise. But hopefully, they'll be able to make up for Carrey's absence. Also, what I can gather from this is that the movies aren't going to be following the games chronologically. The creators are going to be cherry-picking some moments from the games to add to the movies, rather than make movies based entirely on the games. And did you know that there's a lot in store for Sonic after the release of Part 3 in the franchise? A whole Sonic cinematic universe, actually. When the news of the first live-action Sonic feature came out, people weren't looking forward to it at all, especially with the first nightmare-fueled character design. No one expected the franchise to take off the way it did with the movies. Even the second movie performed super well at the box office, so now a third movie's in production. And so is a spin-off series following Knuckles. The shared universe concept is getting old for many people, but Sega has decided to give it a shot with Sonic anyway. Like I mentioned before, the post-credit scene teased a Sonic Adventure 2 adaptation, so there's a lot of material for future installments to go off of. There are tons of new characters to introduce and explore, like Amy Rose, Mighty the Armadillo, Ray the Flying Squirrel, Silver the Hedgehog, Blaze, the Chaotix, and Big the Cat. A bunch of anti-heroes and villains are yet to be introduced as well, like Metal Sonic, Omega, and Rogue the Bat. Live-action incarnations of characters like Fang the Sniper may be a little more difficult to do, so maybe we'll get to see them show up in smaller television roles. Other than that, Sega is planning on making its very own version of the Avengers, which will be uniting different characters from the Sonic universe. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 may also have set up another spin-off following Shadow, kind of like a prequel for the evil character. I think it's safe to say that the possibilities are as limitless as Sonic's speed. With a successful movie franchise under its belt and a dedicated fanbase that spans generations, Sonic's primed for an exciting future. From video games to animated series, the character's adventures will keep entertaining fans. The Sonic team has never shied away from innovation, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible for our beloved Hedgehog. Whether it's through new game mechanics, compelling storytelling, or captivating visuals, the future promises even more fun experiences. Beyond the realm of gaming and movies, Sonic's also expanding into other forms of media. With the new animated series, comics, and merchandise in the works, there are going to be plenty of opportunities to dive deeper into the Sonic universe and connect with the characters we adore, like Sonic Frontiers. This open-world game was yet another defining moment for the franchise, which allowed players to roam about huge parts of the map and explore it all in their own time. The last time Sonic had a moment as big as this one was back when they brought us Sonic in 3D with Sonic Adventure. In the future, these games are going to continue to evolve and become even more immersive. The graphics will be a lot more realistic, and the gameplay so much more complex. The storyline will be more engaging, and the characters more relatable. But Sonic's future isn't just limited to traditional media, because as technology continues to advance, fans can expect it to embrace new platforms and experiences. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and interactive experiences, all those things could bring us even closer to the action, allowing us to join the little hedgehog on his adventures like never before. Can you imagine racing next to Sonic, feeling the wind in your fur as you loop-de-loop through vibrant, imaginative worlds? It's fair to say that Sonic is back, and for the first time in about 20 years, the Speedy mascot is getting super popular again. So, how can Sega leverage the success their character is getting again? They can start by fixing Sonic Frontiers and smooth out the rough edges to turn it into something really special. Like Unleashed, Frontiers has so much potential. If they could just streamline some of the mechanics a bit, for example, that combat and skill tree system wasn't completely balanced, which meant that most of what the game has to offer was left unlocked. There are so many tweaks they can make to the game to make it a much more believable world for Sonic to speed around in. Something else they could do is supplement the future of Frontiers with older titles to keep up the momentum that the series has been gaining. A Sonic Advanced trilogy with widescreen support, remastered soundtracks, upscaled visuals, and some extras would make these games super popular again. So, there you have it. From leveraging the character's rediscovered popularity to make newer and better games, to the highly anticipated release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, that's what the future holds for Sonic the Hedgehog.